Hi, in this video we are going to do a couple more problems about the ages. And in a previous video we discussed some examples where the problem involved age, and we say that to solve these questions one can just consider them as special cases for sum and difference problems or difference and multiple problems. But in this video, the examples we have, we cannot reduce them easily to difference and multiple problems or sum and multiple problems. So what we're going to do is we're going to just use the bar graph again to help us to solve these problems. Or at the end, I'll probably also explain to you how to use algebra to solve these problems. Okay. So let's start look at this one. So here we have a sister and a brother, and sister says, when I get to your age, you would be 31. And the brother, actually older brother, tells the younger sister, when I was your age, you were only 1 year old, you were a baby. Now, from these two sentences, can we conclude the age of the sister and the age of the brother? So how old is the sister at this moment? That's the question. All right. So here, it's not very clear what is the difference of the ages between the brother and the sister. And 31 is clearly not the difference, and 1 is clearly not the difference of the age between these two persons. So what we are going to do is we are going to just draw some graphs and try to understand the situation better. Okay, so let's use S for sister and B for brother. Okay, and use bars to represent their age. Let's say the sister is, the age is like this bar. Okay, and the brother is going to be older because the brother says, so let's see, the brother is going to be older because the brother says, when I was your age. So when I was your age, what does that mean? So there's a difference. So there, this many years ago, the brother was the sister age. So if the sister grew this many years younger, she will be 1 year old. So let's use this to draw that many years. Then if she go backwards by this many years, the sister will be only 1 year old. So what does that mean? Well, we know that this part is the same as the sister's age. So what it means is the brother's age you can separate into these three parts. One part here, and the other two parts are just this difference between the ages of brother and sister. Okay. All right. So now we use up the first, actually the second condition. Let's look at the first condition, first statement. So let's draw the sister and brother again. Okay, sister and brother. Now we know the situation better. So sister has 1 year old plus the difference between the ages, and brother has 1 year old plus the difference, that's the sister age, and then adds up another piece of the difference. Okay. And now the sister says, when I go to your age. So let's say the sister grew to brother age, which means if the sister adds that many years old, but at the same time the brother also grew, so brother will grow by the same amount. So add how many years? And then the brother will be 31 years old. So now if you look at this picture, you know how to solve the problem because look at the picture for the brothers. What happened? We have 1 year old, then plus these three differences. So what are the three differences? Because it adds up to be 31. The three difference will be 31 minus 1 will be 30. And so each difference represents, the difference represents 30 divided by 3 is 10. So this little bar represents 10 years. And let's go back to our question. And the question is answered immediately. How old is sister now? Look at how old is sister now. Sister is, you have 1 year plus the difference. So that's 10. At this moment, the sister is 11 years old. And the brother is 21 years old. And when the sister goes to 21, 10 years later, the brother will be 31. So that's the answer, 11. Okay, let's do one more example. Here's the example. We have two persons, and we know at this moment, one person is 4 times the age of the other person, A is 4 times B. And 10 years from now, A's age will be 2 times B's age, less 2. I mean, when you see statements like this, the algebra method is probably the best to solve these problems. But we try to avoid algebra for the moment and just use graphs to solve it. Okay, and the question is, how old is A now? All right. So here it's not a difference and multiple problem. Actually, the multiple appears twice, and the difference is kind of hard to figure out. In fact, once you figure out the difference, probably the problem is solved. Like you have 4 times and 2 times. So let's try the graph. And let's draw A and B, the age for A and B, and use this little piece 2 for B, and then A is 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this graph is simple enough. But what about 10 years from now? 10 years later. So 10 years later, of course, you have these 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. And then you need to add to A's age by 10. So let's call this 10. Okay, so that's A. And what about B? B will be just this piece, then add 10 years later. Okay, so what do we know? We know that 10 years later, A's age will be twice B's age, less 2. So twice B's age, you need to do twice of B. 2 of B. Well, that will be this piece, 10 years, plus this piece, the 10 years, that's twice, right? But they are not the same. It's not the same as A, because you are having A's age is 2 less. So here you have 2 years. Here, that's not covered by A. So now if you compare the 2 pictures, what do we know? Well, the 2 pictures both have these 2 pieces. Both has 1 bar of 10. So that means if you compare the difference, these 2 bars are not covered, these 2 are covered, and this is this covered, so this should match with this part. These 2 should match. And how much is here? Well, that's 10 minus 2. The leftover is 8 years. So what we know in the end, we get, if we do the comparison, we get these 2 bars equals 8, and that will tell us the bar equals half of 8, right? And so now we get this is 8 over 2, which is 4 years old. And how old is A now? Well, 4 of these guys, so 4 times 4. So 4, 4, 4, 4, that would be and equals 16. Okay. All right. So for this problem, again, we use the graph to help us to analyze the conditions. And this generally works in all cases about age problems. And again, let me try also explain to those who are comfortable with algebra how this problem is done. And using algebra, these things are much simpler. So use algebra. And so you let b to be x. And then the first condition says a is 4 times the b's age. A is 4x. And the second condition says 10 years from now, so the a will be 4x plus 10 years, add 10 years to it, will be 2 times b. Well, but it's b's age 10 years from now, so 2 times b's age 10 years from now is x plus 10, and less 2 minus 2. So you get the equation and you solve it, you will find what x is. 4x plus 10 equals 2x distributed from 20 minus 2, and you move the 2x to the left, you get 2x, move the 10 to the right, you get 20 minus 2 minus 10 is 8. That will give you x equals 4. And that's just exactly what we have. B is 4 years old and A is 16 years old. Alright, that concludes our discussion about age problems.